Hello everyone, welcome back to the cottage. I'm Joey the Veiled Cottage Witch, and welcome to your new moon in Gemini energy forecast and reading. So glad you could join me. This video was supposed to be recorded yesterday. However, I had to teach a class and it just wiped me. So here I am today. So being that this is the new moon in Gemini, it feels like the energy of two new moons. And the reason why is Gemini is kind of a double hitter. It's 2 in 1, really, because it's all about duality and polarity. It is the Lover's card. And, we see not just 2, but 3 beings on here. And a lot of people kind of miss that when they're looking at this card. And it really does kind of get missed as far as interpretation of this card. So I want to take a moment before we get into the numerology, just to take a moment to discuss this card, because I feel like a lot of readers and a lot of people who, not just readers, but a lot of beginner readers and a lot of people who see this card for the first time come to it and they, oh, it's such a romantic card. Oh, it's the soulmate card. Oh, it means that I'm in love and everything is wonderful. It can mean that. However, that is not what the Golden Dawn and Aleister Crowley and Waite and all those people who came up with this system, that's not what they had in mind when they created this card. So to break it down for you a little bit, and I'm not going to go into the whole card because I've already done that on my channel, but we get a lot of triangles in the tarot, and that is for a very important reason. So what I want to talk about today, though, is the man, the woman, and the angel. So here we have represented the man represents the conscious mind, the practical, the analytical mind, okay? The female represents the subconscious, the intuitive mind, okay? So the angel represents the higher mind, okay, the superconscious. And we're getting a little bit into Jungian psychology, but I won't go crazy into that. But the superconscious is the meeting of these two minds, the conscious and the subconscious, come together with this hill here pointing to the angel being the superconscious mind. Okay, so this is where the two minds of the twins, the man and the woman, come together to make the superconscious mind. So this is all about the meeting of the minds. So when I say that this card is all about choices and decisions, it's using the conscious mind, right brain thinking, as the man is on the right hand side, with the left brain thinking, with the intuitive thinking. When those come together, they make the superconscious, where you can use both sides of the brain to make the best decision. That's the Lover's card. So this is the energy that we are in right now, the meeting of the minds. And I'm quoting Bobby Fierro over at Wild Raven Tarot for that particular phrase, the meeting of the minds, because that is what we're doing here with the Lovers. And that is the energy of Gemini. So that is so important to understand the Lover's card. That, it's not just ooey gooey, lovey-dovey card. It is the meeting of the minds, the conscious, the subconscious, and the superconscious. So that is the energy of Gemini. So there you have it. So with that energy, we also have, because today is the 14th, so we have 6/14/2026. You add them all up, you get 21. And that is the World card. And this is essentially the last card in the sequence, but it's also harkens back to the Fool, because we have the 0 here. So it's a rebirthing back to the Fool. So yes, this is a completion card and an achievement card, but that also means you get to start again. Yay, I did it. Yeah, buddy, but now you get to start over again, because nothing truly ends. The tarot doesn't end with the World. Shocker, I know. But yes, you've went through one phase of life. Congratulations. Now start over. So we get to go through the birth canal back to 0 with the Fool. This is a wonderful card to get. This is a great card. Yes, you've done it. You did the thing and you've achieved it. This is the Dancer. It's a wonderful card to get. This is awesome. You've done it. Now it's time to start again. And when you add 2 + 1, you get 3, which is the Empress card. And this is all about taking care of yourself. This is about, sitting back and enjoying the luxury that you have. For me, this card is about gratitude, about looking around at the beauty around you and soaking it in. And that's what she's doing. Absolutely. So we have all of this energy, the Empress energy, beauty, grace, luxury, prosperity, fertility, absolutely, in spades. I mean, most of the time, the Empress card, the woman is pregnant, because it just represents the fullness of life. So we have the Lover's card, the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, coming together, the meeting of the minds to the superconscious. We have the completion card, the World, and then we have the luxury and beauty card. So I love this energy. This is pushing us forward with the best skills that we have at our disposal in order to complete what we need to complete so we can enjoy ourselves. Perfect. This is awesome energy for us right now. So with the new moon in Gemini, this is a perfect cosmic reset that is centered around communication, curiosity, and new ideas. Now, as an air sign ruled by Mercury, Gemini encourages us to start new conversations, learn new skills, and reshape the inner narratives that are holding us back. There should be nothing holding us back, because it's time for us to complete, So because we are operating from the superconscious, this is our time. Yeah. So this is when we can drop outdated thought patterns, because we're in touch with that superconscious, right? and to question old beliefs. We're no longer thinking one-sided, right? So we can start to learn new skills. We can start to maybe enroll in new classes. We can start new writing projects. You know, Mercury is all about communication, among lots of other things. We can reach out to new people. We can attend networking events. We can have that deep heart-to-heart conversation that we've been putting off. You know what I'm talking about. So this energy is highly adaptable and it's playful. It's encouraging us to explore multiple interests rather than feeling boxed in, because we're not thinking one-sided anymore. So I'm excited about this. There's one warning with this energy that I do feel like needs to be said. We do not want to get stuck in our head. And that is what the Empress is here, because we've got 2 air signs here. Okay. We do not want to get stuck in our head. That is why the Empress is here, to ground us. When we are stuck up in our head, what do we need to do? Come back down to earth. All right. Sit with your back up against a trunk of a tree. Put your feet on the earth, your bare feet if possible. All right. And just breathe. That's all you have to do. It's not impossible. When you feel a little too heady, like you're thinking too much, that's what you need to do. Come back down to earth. You're floating in the clouds. Come back down to earth, okay? That's the only warning I feel like might get some people into trouble. Come back down to earth. Okay, so for this tarot spread, I'm using the Fairy Tale Tarot. This is my new tarot. I just did a review for it. I absolutely love it. It kind of matches. And it's a black background with bright colors and just reminds me of the 90s, and I love it. And then we're also using the Sacred Forest Oracle, which is very whimsical. I love it. Seems perfect for what we're doing. So we're going to be talking about, we're going to be doing 4 cards, and then the middle one is going to be our message from Spirit. That will be our oracle pull. So we're going to talk about how to speak your truth, how to see both sides, new things to try, and then ideas to make reality. So I am going to pause the video here. I'm going to shuffle my cards because you guys don't want to see all that. That's boring. And then we'll do the spread. I'll be right back. All right, I am all shuffled and ready to go. I want to make a quick shout out to everybody who have followed my readings. I appreciate you guys. I try to make this every new moon, every full moon, and every Sabbath. So I appreciate you guys following along with me. Appreciate you guys so much. Here's our first card, our second, our third card, we knew that wanted to be there anyway. Ha. Oh, great. We have a good view here. And then our oracle message. Tonight is our midsummer celebration. So excited. We're going to have a fire spinner. We're going to dance around the fire, of course. Lots of fire. All right. Yay. All right, here we go. Okay. So, card 1, how to speak your truth. We have the 10 of Swords in reverse. So, when I get this 10 of Swords reverse, I always look at it from a viewpoint of gravity. So, upright, the 10 of Swords is taking all our negative thoughts and allowing it to take up root inside of our bodies, and we are really kind of believing everything we say. If we say, I'm in pain every day, then this becomes truth. So when it's reversed, we are speaking our truth. We are adjusting what we say. We are no longer trying to, and I was just talking to someone yesterday about this, and I taught her a new way to say something, and she's always in pain. And I told her, and I really hope she's watching, and I told her, I go, let me, if I may, can I teach you something? And I say, instead of talking about your pain, what if you said, I'm on the mend? What if you say, things are getting better? And just, if you say that, I wonder how your body would respond. And, you know, I kind of like heard a ding, something in her mind. And she's like, that does feel good to say that. And so I feel like this card is saying that you are no longer speaking from that truth, and you are no longer allowing your thoughts to harm your body, because you're thinking before you're speaking now, if that makes sense. Instead of saying, man, I always lose when I play the lottery, you know, so I just don't play anymore. Well, you know, yeah, that's true now because you spoke it into existence. What if, yeah, I'm going to play the lottery because I always win? What if that became the new truth, you know? And especially with this card, you know, what if you said, instead of, I'm always sick, what if you say, I'm never sick? You're changing your physiology of your body when you speak like that, because your mind doesn't know the difference. And your mind and your body, guess what? One thing, it's been proven. Your mind doesn't know the difference. That's why actors get so wrapped up in a role, because when you start to speak and you get emotionally involved with what you're saying, the body reacts. You'll have people crying, dramatic actors crying for so long because they can't come down from it, because their body believes what they're saying. It's absolutely fact. So, a challenge to you guys, speak your truth. Don't keep hurting yourself. Speak a truth that's new and see what happens to your body. I've studied metaphysics for several years, and let me tell you, you can trick your body. Your mind can make it so. Absolutely. I love this card for us. Absolutely. That is how you can speak your truth into existence. by creating a new truth. Absolutely. Try it. Try it and let me know how it works. Please do. All right, your second one, how to see both sides. And we have a 6, which is perfect because our lovers is a 6. Yay. Numbers are awesome. What is so wonderful about the 6 of Pentacles is we have the scale, which is fairness, which is seeing both sides, which is how to see both sides. How you can see both sides is when you are asked your opinion. Should I do this? If anyone asks you, look at it from both the conscious and the subconscious and the superconscious. And I want to point out one more super friggin' cool thing, and I'm sure you guys can see it. Doop, 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 doop. It's the triangle. I'm telling you, if you guys look, triangles are everywhere in the tarot. So if you look at both points of view, then you can make the best decision. That's how you can see from both sides. You will always, always make the best decisions that way. Meeting of the minds. I should get royalties every time I say that from Bobby Fierro. What do you guys think? Should I get points? I know I should. Yes. Yes. Wild Raven Tarot, I need royalty fees. Thank you. All right. I really hope he watches this. All right. So our next one, new things to try. You've got the Knight of Cups reversed. So upright, the Knight of Cups puts his heart on his sleeve and he is completely open, and he is just, he's so open that sometimes he's too open. Sometimes he doesn't think very much before he's fire of water. So he's very passionate about his feelings. Okay. He needs to reel it in a little bit. And I feel like that is what the reverse is trying to say. Maybe you don't write a sonnet for everyone you meet. Maybe you have some discretion. Maybe you don't say, hey, we can be best friends to everyone. Maybe dial it back a little bit. Use that super conscious, that decision making, that conscious versus subconscious, to reel it in a little bit and maybe not show your hand right away. A little mystery, if you will, is something new you should try. I know this is for me because if I meet somebody with the same interests as me, oh my God, I'm like, we're going to be best friends. And I don't know them and I don't trust them. And I need a little bit of discretion, a little bit of mystery. So a little bit of that is something that is needed right now. Reel it in just a little bit. Not everyone can be trusted. Okay? A little protection on your heart might be a good idea right now. Ideas to make reality. So we have the 7 of Swords here. And And the Seven of Swords is one of those cards that changes meaning per reading. So a lot of people want to read this as the Thief card, which sometimes it is. Sometimes it is. We have a thief, you know, he looks like he's running away a lot of times with a whole bunch of swords and leaving two behind, so it looks like he didn't take it all. Gotcha. And in reverse, you know, he's kind of like caught red-handed. And I get that. That is a valid meaning. However, it's not always like that. For me, I can appreciate an alternative meaning at times. And in this reading, I feel with the placement being ideas to make reality, I feel like this is saying there are some things that you can gather from a situation that has happened. Okay, so let me turn it up right so I can really explain this. Go with me on this. Sometimes there are situations that are shitty situations, mistakes, if you will. Shitty situations that happen to you. But every time there's a shitty situation, you can learn from it. You learn something. Am I right? I mean, you learn sometimes. You should anyway, right? Sometimes it takes more than one time for us to learn. I know that's true for me. Sometimes I don't learn that lesson, and sometimes it's a harder lesson every time. You know, you have to fall harder every time on your face for you to learn there's a curve there, right? So with the Seven of Swords, we take the important things from that bad situation. We extract the good from that situation and leave the shitty parts. My first marriage, my second marriage. I will take the good from it and leave the rest. So I feel like with it reversed, we're not seeing the good from the situation. We're not quite seeing that good part. We're just seeing the shitty situation. And it could just be too fresh in your mind, and that is valid. But take a moment. Take a beat. Yeah, that was shitty all around. I get it. But try to think about what you did learn. Okay? Yes, that was a shitty person that you invested 3 years of your life in. I got you. But you learned who you didn't want to be with, right? If nothing else, right? So that's what I'm talking about. Maybe try to extract the good from the shitty situation. So that is an idea you can make reality. Find the good somewhere in the pile of shit. It is shit. I get it. But there has to be something in there. There has to be. Otherwise, you wouldn't have stayed 3 years, right? I mean, there has to be something good that can come from that situation. so you can move forward with closure, right? We all need closure. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm saying with the reversed Seven of Swords here. Okay, and finally, love this. Your message from Spirit, your Raven truth, or your Raven Spirit and its truth. Ravens have been following me. If you guys watched my dailies earlier this week, I had some kind of blackbird just croak at me during my message, just trying to interrupting me the whole time. And it wasn't being rude. It was just really kind of speaking while I was speaking. And then there was a raven in the card that I was speaking about. I get it. Hello. Hi. Yes, I get it. And so here we have truth. Speak your truth. Don't be afraid to speak it into existence. In this day and age, if we don't speak our mind, we are silenced. And if we are silenced, then what happens? We don't get a say. And then we become what? Oppressed. We've been here before in history, and I do not intend to be here again. No more. Speak. Speak for what you believe in. Speak your truth. Ravens are loud, and they will be heard. So speak, and you will be heard. Yes. All right. So quick recap. How to speak your truth. The words that come out of your mouth must be what you want them to be. Don't talk bad about what you want to have happen. Because if you start to speak badly about your body or about your life, it becomes truth. So start changing the way you speak about your body, about your mind, and it will become truth. I'm on the mend. Things are great. Things are good. Things are looking up. Try it. Try it. You'll change your life. It's absolutely true. Words create. We know this. We know this. How to see both sides. We know that we can because of the Lover's card, the conscious with the subconscious, meeting of the minds coming together using the superconscious, our higher mind, looking at both sides, right? New things to try, having a little mystery in your life, pulling back a little bit, not giving away our hand. Anybody play cards? Not giving away all of our information, having a little bit of mystery. And then ideas to make reality, being able to see the good in all the situations. We will make mistakes. We will fall on our faces. We will have shitty situations. But the important thing for closure is to find the good in those situations. Find the lesson. That way we can move on. Okay? And speak your truth. Be heard. Be loud. If we don't speak, we're not heard, and then we're oppressed. We don't want that. Speak up. And speak until you are heard. So, that was your new moon in Gemini. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got something out of this reading. I know I sure did. So please give this video a like, subscribe if you'd like to hear more or see more readings. I do every new moon, every full moon, and every pagan Sabbath. Next week we will do Midsummer. That'll be probably on the 21st, or probably maybe on Friday the 19th, I would say. Might be the best day that I will put that out. Please go to my website at theveiledcottagewitch.com. Download the app. It's free. And then you will have full access to all of my products. I have ritual and spell aids. I have holistic healing products. I have a beauty line, skincare line, amazing stuff. Please remember at checkout to enter the code word veiled at checkout. That way you get free shipping. You can also, through the app, book a reading, book a service, book a class, book a workshop, all that kind of good stuff. If there's anything on there that you have a question about, please give me a message. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. And I do custom orders, so please give me a message for any custom orders that you might have as well. If you'd like to financially support this channel, give me a little tip. That'd be awesome. You can do that several different ways down in the description box, or you can just scan this QR code right here. Much appreciated, but not necessary. Just live your best life and live for yourself. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.